Macmillan Audio presents Lit Up. One reporter, 3 schools, 24 books that can change lives. By David Denby. Read for you by Christopher Price, with an introduction read for you by the author.
I have sometimes dreamt, at least, that when the day of judgment dawns, and the great conquerors and lawyers and statesmen come to receive their rewards, their crowns, their laurels, their names carved indelibly upon imperishable marble, the Almighty will turn to Peter and will say, not without a certain envy when he sees us coming with our books under our arms, "Look, these need no reward. We have nothing to give them here. They have loved reading." Virginia Woolf, novelist, 1926. Where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? Where is the knowledge we have lost in information? T.S. Eliot, poet, 1934. You don't have to burn books to destroy a culture, just get people to stop reading them. Ray Bradbury, novelist, 1993. A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only one. George R.R. Martin, novelist, 2011. Books smell like old people. Student, age 15, New Haven, 2014.
Introduction. Well, maybe not on the way home from the hospital. Maybe when the baby is 6 weeks old, or when she begins smiling. That might be a good time to pull her into your lap or prop her up between you and your spouse or partner. Turning through pages, you read aloud a picture book. She won't remember the words or pictures, but an impression of being held and read to will remain. A familiarity with the experience, an emotional reminder of pleasure, especially when it's repeated hundreds of times. Second part of the deal. You talk to your baby constantly, from birth, telling stories, pointing at the things of the world, defining words, asking questions, and gently demanding answers when she's old enough to give them. Like a child in a fairy tale, she will possess an unknown power, which sooner or later will burst forth. The reading ego and the speaking ego need thousands of little victories before they assert themselves without fear, and she will be ready. A child held, read to, and talked to undergoes an initiation into a useful life. She may also undergo an initiation into happiness. Everyone agrees that establishing reading pleasure early in a child's life is a monumental achievement, and you do it, the pediatricians say, with books, not with screens. And everyone also agrees that the gap between those children who grow up loving books and active conversation and those who don't, with troubled school performance and restricted career opportunities likely for those who don't, is a gap that gets set early and may be hard to close. Hard, but not, of course, impossible. It can be done in grade school and middle school. But what about high school? How do you establish reading pleasure in busy, screen-loving teenagers, and in particular pleasure in reading serious work? Is it still possible to raise teenagers who can't live without reading something good? Or is that idea absurd? And could the struggle to create such hunger have any effect on the character of boys and girls? A few years ago, I was thinking about these issues, thinking in a non-productive, desultory way, and wondering, too, about high school reading lists. Does anyone read The Catcher in the Rye anymore? Is Hawthorne gone? Did anyone care? When a stranger came up to me on the street. This sounds like an Upper West Side joke. Guy comes up to you on the street and starts talking about a school.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?